Who added another input to the form? Good. You can do that. If you can add one, you can add another, right? So let's just basically do the same thing we did here. Don't need a whole new form, right? Just another input in the same form. Add another paragraph down here. And I'm going to start using some shortcuts. Yesterday it was good practice to type out the opening and closing tag every time, character by character. But there's a little something called Emmet built into Visual Studio Code. If you're using Atom or something else, there's a plugin available. And with that, I can type just the tag name and hit a keyboard shortcut to expand that abbreviation and get the opening and closing tag. I can do that with any element. Button does it nice and easy, nice and fast. Saves us some typing. The default key, I think, is tab, but tab auto-completes a whole lot of other things, so I've actually changed my keyboard shortcut to control space. And if you are interested in doing the same, up here on the tools page under VS Code key bindings, I do explain how I changed that. And there's a lot of other information about Emmet on this page as well, with lots of examples of the sort of advanced syntax for that thing. It's great stuff, saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of typos. So let's make a paragraph. Inside that paragraph, let's make a label. That label will be for age. And the content of the label should be age. Then we'll put an input. Type is text. Name is age. Make it match the 4 value on the label. Links those two things together for the sake of screen readers and other assistive technology, as well as even for sighted users under certain circumstances. Can make it easier to click them and stuff. Now age isn't exactly text, is it? It's a number. Well, guess what? In HTML5, that is a separate type of input. And in browsers that don't support HTML5, that will just fall back to a text field, so no harm. But if you do have a browser that supports the number input type, it gives you some nice features, like it will stop you from typing anything other than a number in there. If you're doing it on a mobile device, instead of getting it'll make sure that the numbers are visible when you focus that and start typing, so you don't have to hit a little key to show the numbers. Let's check it out. Yay, it's there. Let's try to type some text in there. Can't do it. Let's type a number. Can do it. Yay. And we got this little widget here. If you want to make it really hard on yourself and but it's there. It just happens to be how Chrome implements that input type. Pretty nice. If you're not sure how to do the entire Super Mega Bonus credit, if you don't know how to display it on the page, just focus on part 1. Add another input to the form. You can do that part, right? That's right. But how do we add it to the form now? Do we need a whole nother submit handler? Do we need another event listener? The event listener is all about this, right? When something happens, do something else. When what happens? Well, it's still just when we submit the form, right? It's not a whole separate event. So we can just listen for the same event. Now it's going to do a little more than it did before, but probably isn't necessary to create a whole separate function for this because this is a 2-line thing. So let's just do it right in here. So we got the name out of the form this way, f.personname.value. How do you suppose we get the age out of there? Const age equals f.age.value. And why can we say f.age? Because we gave it a name. Yeah, the name is what creates that property on the form itself. And the form we got from the target of the event. The event is always passed in as an argument to an event handler. Whether we list it in the parameters or not, it's always getting passed in. But if we give it a name up here, then we can refer to it by name. JavaScript, as we know, does not enforce the number of parameters. All right, so now we have the age. If we just did f.age, that would actually give us the entire input, right? The actual HTML element. But it's the value we're interested in, what we typed in there. It's not text content because input is an empty element, does not have a closing tag, so there's no content. But there's a value. And then we could say, oh, name plus comma age, something like that. Refresh. Rick, age, a bunch. Yay, Rick, comma, age a bunch. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we've done the next part of the homework. Display it alongside the name in the div or paragraph. He has had enough of this bull crap. We accomplished something. It's not broken. Seems like a good time to commit. Git right now doesn't know about our changes, so we'll use git add to tell it about the changes. But then if we want it to be a permanent part of our history, we better stick a label on that. And that's what commit does. And we want a message alongside that label that explains what the heck we did. Add person age. I'm going to be specific. Add person age to the form and the stats. So now there's a label on it. 927 FB1. But it just lives on our laptop still. We want that on GitHub. So we push. And now it's there. And life is good. Questions so far? Does this hideous string concatenation make sense to everybody? Is everybody used to string concatenation enough that got to put the space there, right? Otherwise, the age is going to be smashed right up against that kind of thing.